Hello and welcome to Python Fundamentals. In this course, we learn the underpinning Python programming skills, preparing for our journey towards mastering the Django Framework and the Python programming language. This tutorial is part of a series of tutorials. You can find the link to the whole playlist in the video description. This tutorial is from our Python Programming Fundamentals for Django Developers course, which you can find and purchase on Udemy. You will find all the latest and updated tutorials, as well as resources and assessments to help accelerate your learning of the subject. The link to the course, which will always provide the best price, can be found in the video description. Python lists are useful data structures commonly used in the Python programming language. We previously stated that a list can contain any sort of object, and we've seen examples of lists containing booleans, integers, strings, all in one list. If a list can indeed contain any sort of object, then a list can also include an additional list. So we have a list within a list. This is commonly known as a nested list. So let's take a look at how to create a nested list and how to work with that data within the list. If you've been watching this course from the very start, then we've already covered the skills that we're going to need to work with a list within a list. I've gone ahead and opened up my Django project, but you can just open up any folder. Let's go ahead and create a new file here, example.py. So just create a new file, example.py. Let's go ahead and now create a nested list. So we're going to need a list. So let's just follow the same rules as we learned previously. So let's build a list. So we're going to need square brackets here. So let's go for our shopping list again. So we're going to need some jam, of course, and maybe some sort of meat. And we're going to need those chips. Okay, so this was a simple list that we were working with previously. So let's think about creating a nested list. So instead of defining, for example, here a string, we're just going to add a list. So let's imagine we go shopping and we want some additional, maybe dry goods, for example, or some other aspects. So all we need to do is follow the same pattern. So we need a comma after the last element here, and we just need to build a new list. So we know how to build a list. We need square brackets, and then we can go ahead and add some more elements into our list. So let's go for, I'm going to buy a book. And then maybe we need some sort of mug. In the previous tutorials, we've already learned some of the basic methods that we can utilize to manipulate our list. In addition to that, we've also learned the fact that a list is indexed. So the first item here represents index 0. The second element here represents index 1 and then 2. Now, even though we're using a nested list, this element here, this nested list within this list, will still be at index position 3. So 0 index position, 1 index position, 2 and 3. If you're not comfortable or familiar with indexing, then take a look at the previous tutorials where we discuss indexing. So if we wanted to, for example, access the data within our nested list here, then let's just go ahead and we'll print this to the terminal. So we need to define the fact we want to access data within our list, and then we can utilize the index of this list. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if I wanted to access the list within a list, then I just specify index 3. So if I were to then go ahead and run this, so here on the Mac, I'm going to type in Python 3, example.py, that's the name of the file. There we go. So we now access the list in index position 3. If I wanted to access the data within this list, well then this list will have a separate index. So we can see that we've extracted or we've printed out this list within a list, but this list will have its own index. So book is in position 0 and then mug is in position 1 or index 1. So in actual fact, I can extend this. I can now say, well, let's go into index position 3 in the first list, and then let's now go into position, for example, 1 in this list at position 3 or index 3. So 0 and 1 again, index. So it should now print off mug. So I can utilize this approach in actual fact to add new information, add new elements. So let's, for example, add a new element. So we're going to, for example, in the shopping list at position 0. So in our shopping list here in this nested list, we're going to add a new string. So let's go ahead and add a magazine. Now we're not adding here. What we're doing is we're replacing. So instead of buying a book, we're now going to change it into a magazine. So I've selected shopping list position or index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be this list here. And then in position 0, I'm now going to change book into magazine. So let's just run that out again. And well, let's just print out the list. So you can now see that I've replaced the book with magazine. We previously learned that we could add elements to a list and remove elements from the list. And we explored some of the built-in methods that we can utilize on a list. Now understanding the basics of accessing a nested list through the index, we can now utilize some of these tools that we previously learnt to perform some basic operations, adding elements or removing elements from a list or a nested list. We'll look at 2 examples, and then by all means go ahead and take a look at those previous methods. If you've made some notes, great. Use those notes to then explore and utilize those methods on a nested list. Let's go for an example utilizing the insert method, which is going to insert a new element at a specified index position. Let's take this shopping list and now extend, insert, and then we're going to specify 2 attributes here. 0, that's the position, the index position where I want to add a new element, and then what I want to add. So let's just create a new string here and add it into position 0. So let's go ahead and just print this list and see the outcome. You can now see that in position 0, we have a new element here, new. So what we need to be cautious of here is if we're utilizing a nested list, we need to specify that nested list first, utilizing the approach we used earlier. So after shopping list, we want to specify the index position, which is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then we can then specify the index position of this individual list. So insert 0 and new. So we're going to add this string at the start of this nested list. So if we print out the nested list now, you can see that we've added to our nested list. Before you go ahead and maybe explore some of the other methods and approaches that we've utilized previously, let's take a look at extend. Extend is a method which allows us or provides the tools for us to add new elements to an end of a list. So let's go ahead and use extend. So I specify extend and let's go ahead and just pass in new. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what happens now. Notice here that we passed in a string and you can see it's then broken up that string and placed it at the end of our nested list. But it's taken each character and has added that as to an element within our list. Now you might be wondering why that is. You may remember that we mentioned that extend is expecting for us to pass in a data type that we can iterate over, an iterable of some sort, something that we can loop over. And it just happens the string is an iterable. And you can see here that extend has looped through this string and it's extracted each element and passed that into our new nested list here as individual elements. If we were to utilize a different data type, for example, a tuple or a list, this could be a list or a tuple, but I'm going to create a tuple. Now, if we use a tuple, we're going to need a comma here. Then let's go ahead now and print this out. And you can now see we've added or extended our nested list and included this new string. Like I said, we can utilize a list, pass in a list here, that will have the same outcome. Now, there is an unlimited amount of nested lists that we can create. So for example, here, if we wanted to, let's go ahead and nest another list within a list. So here at the end of my shopping list here, let's go ahead and just wrap this around. Let's go ahead and add some new items into this list. So maybe some sort of frying pan and maybe randomly a pencil. Okay, so now we have a list within a list. So we had the third layer, if you like, first layer, the second layer here, and now the third level or layer. So if we wanted to access this third layer, then we just need to follow the same principles again. We know that the first nested list here is in index position 3. Now we need to identify the position of this index. Now, this list can be at the start of a list or in the middle. Because I'm adding it to the end of my list, it isn't suggesting that you will find a nested item at the end. So let's go ahead and index position 0, 1, 0, 1, and 2. So this nested list here within a list, just zoom out a bit, is in position 0, 1, 2. So I go into my first list, and then I go into my second list, and now I can access data here. So if I wanted to print out pencil, let's select 1, index 1 of this list. So that should print out pencil. If I save that, so shopping list 3, 2, and 1. Apologies, you will need to remove the print. So let's add this new shopping list to print. So we print out the individual item and not the whole shopping list again. So let's give that a go. And there we go. We now selected pencil.